Hi and Assalamualaikum, my name is Manita Aisyah binti Karizam. So, in another episode of movie and novel review by me, I would like to review about Love, Rosie. Love, Rosie is also an adaptation movie from a novel, Love, Rosie. Um, in the description, Love, Rosie was directed by Christine Dieter and were produced by Robert Kulze and Simon Brooks. The main character in this movie is Lily Collins, who played as Rosie, and Sam Claflin, who played as Alex. So, Alex and Rosie were best friends since they were kids. During Rosie's 80th birthday, Alex kissed Rosie, who is drunk, and realized that he has romantic feelings towards her. But on the next day, while nursing a hangover and having had her stomach pumped, Rosie regrets having got drunk, and she actually forget that Alex actually kissed her. For me, Love, Rosie is one of those annoying movies in which everything would have been just fine if they had a simple conversation between each other and clear up all the misunderstandings. But then if they did so, there will be a movie, right? So although in retrospect that might not be a bad thing at all. But one thing that are special about this movie is that we as a viewers get to know about the feelings of contrivances and coincidence, near misses, and almost there's kind of feelings, you know. So this cosmic confluence of events which takes place over a dozen years is meant to be swingy and tragic, but it's actually more irritating than anything else. So this movie actually tells a story about Alex and Rosie who fall in love with each other, but they never tell anything to each other because they don't want to ruin their relationship. But instead they met to different people, to different partner as they get older and live apart each other, but they still miss each other. So basically the movie starts when Rosie one day had a goal which want to run a hotel business. So she applies for a hotel management course at Boston University and she get it and but at that moment she was pregnant with his partner's children, but she's afraid to tell Alex because she didn't want to disappoint Alex because they promised to get in that universities together. So after Alex leave for the United States, Rosie give birth to a daughter whom she names a Katie. So Alex learns of Rosie's pregnancy from Bethany and becomes Katie's godfather. And 5 years later, Rosie visits Alex in Boston, and they spend a night together and taking their time to, talking and visiting places. And at the following morning, she discovers that Alex's girlfriend is pregnant. So she understands that Alex's living situation was not proper and tried to discuss it with him, but he rebuffed her, saying that at least their child will have a father because Alex this Rosie because of her daughter who doesn't have a father. So after that, Rosie lived with feelings of frustrated and upset because she really didn't expect Alex to actually say that word. So one day, Rosie's father dies and Alex attends the funeral, and where he reconciles with Rosie because you know before that he and Rosie were kinda fight with each other. And at the same event, Greg, who at that moment is Rosie's husband, behave very immaturely, causing a scene. So from there, Alex actually writes a letter to Rosie and a note saying that she deserves better and that he can be that father. However, the letter was not received by Rosie because Greg actually took that letter and hid it from Rosie. So fast forward to a scene where Alex had a girlfriend, which is Bethany, and they planned to marry each other. And Rosie were actually sad because at that time she already really likes him, and she willing to go to Boston to meet Alex, but she disappointed because Alex already have a girlfriend. So fast forward when Alex planned to marry Bethany, Rosie attends the wedding, but she fails to get Alex back. So she actually congratulates Alex and give her speech, which is actually very very sad. And she's actually trying to be okay with Alex getting married to another woman. But in the end, Alex divorced with Bethany, and he searched for Rosie, and at last they realized that they love each other and they live happily ever after. So what can I learn from this movie is that although we may took some time to find the right person from us, it's okay. It's really okay to meet different guy, to meet different partner, to meet different women before we find the right one. Because in order to learn our lesson, we need to know the wrong one before we meet the right one. Other than that, I learned that in this movie, communication is really important, because if they had a communication with each other, their path will never cross. No. Next, I learned that communication is the key to every relationship. So if both Alex and Rosie had a communication with each other, then this their relationship wouldn't be complicated at all, because if they told their feelings to each other, then why would they meet the wrong partner, right? So yeah, if you have a problem, if you love someone, if you like someone, you need to talk to them, or otherwise they wouldn't know. And in my opinion, it's important to meet different guy, to meet different women, to meet different kind of people in our life before we meet the right one, because we need to know other people's behavior, other people's attitude, so that we can know what we really want. Next, I would like to talk about the differences between both novel and movie. And of course, novel is like much more details than movie, because it has a lot of scenes that is not that is maybe taking more time and maybe are like not important, so they need to cut that scene. But however, I enjoyed reading the novel, because the writing is so good, the plot is so good, the conflicts, the climax are really were put orderly, and it didn't make me feel boring to read that novel. Other than that, I also like the character that Lily Collins played, which is as Rosie, because she really played that character well, and it feels too realistic that even we as a viewers feels frustrated to see that she didn't get any idea about how Alex feels towards her. So I think that is all review from me. Thank you.